Welcome to DWI Steelers segment where we are your hosts. That's Duve, that's Wax, I'm Illy, and this is our Steelers show. So, fellas, listen, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today with the victory and all. But before we get into any of that, we're going to need them to do three things, Wax.
Oh, what's that?
That's like, share, and subscribe. And on Duve, I think you got something to add on to that.
Yeah, get in that comment section.
Definitely. Let us know how you feel about today's victory, our triumph, and us moving forward next week. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Yo. Listen, man, it was crazy, man. I know emotions ran high today in Steeler Nation. So, Wax, I'm going to start with you today. How you feeling about that damn victory, man, after 2 games of not winning?
Man, I feel good. It's well-deserved.
Right.
There's a couple things we need to tighten, a bunch of things we need to tighten up on. But I'm happy with the dub.
No doubt. Dude, how you feeling about this victory today, man?
I feel the same, man. It was a good showing. The defense, like, I was nervous. I've been nervous about them for weeks now, and they showed up today against the number 1 offense in the league. So there's a big step forward for them. Hopefully they can keep it going and keep that momentum going till next week.
Most definitely, man.
And after.
Most definitely, man. Today was a well-deserved victory, and I'm going to say it for a few reasons. One, because we lost 2 weeks in a row consecutively, games that I feel, matter of fact, we all feel that we shouldn't have lost.
Right.
2, to get our mojo back.
Right.
I don't want to say that our heart was left in Green Bay, but, man, it felt terrible to see Green Bay come to Pittsburgh and take that victory out and go back home on a victorious note. So we needed to make up for it this week.
And it kind of took over our crowd last week, which I didn't like to see that either.
I didn't like hearing it.
No.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that doesn't happen in Pittsburgh. So I hope this week sounded a lot better. I mean, I know, Green Bay got a big following and a big, around the country. So, but, we can't let that happen in the Burgh.
Ever.
They got a strong following, like you guys were both saying. But you're in Steeler country when you cross on that doggone Golden Bridge. Not the Golden Gate Bridge, but that yellow bridge heading into the stadium coming off the North Shore. Now, with that being said, we didn't have to feel that way this week.
Thank God.
We showed up and showed out. Now, that team we played today was 7-1. Man, we played them damn Indianapolis Colts today, man. And it was a good day, as Ice Cube would say. I mean, as far as offensively, we played played par of the course. Now, defense, is this what you guys were talking about?
Yeah.
I know like the last couple of weeks, we've been all three in the same position as far as putting it where it deserves, as far as the blame, I would say.
Right.
And both of you guys felt, and myself, that it was, on the defense.
Yeah.
Y'all was a little bit more opinionated, I'll say, as far as how y'all felt. And I get like that from time to time as well. But do you feel like our defense showed up and did what they were supposed to do today, do?
Yeah, I think they did. They were very efficient this week. And on top of that, we was getting the turnovers. We haven't got turnovers like that in a couple of weeks.
Right.
And this defense is built around getting the turnovers.
Right.
And I think they come with when we're playing ahead. Like if we can stay ahead of schedule, you know what I mean, like where the defense can pin their ears back and really get to it. That's when I think we play our best ball. So we just gotta keep staying on course at the beginning of these games and not fall back.
Now, let me ask you this, Wax. Do you feel like T.J. Watt earned his keep today with his gameplay? Because he did come up with a sack and a forced fumble, I believe.
I'm happy with the results, and I've seen a couple different times where he was close but no cigar.
Right.
Like, I mean, I don't know if it's just me but like I'm expecting TJ to be the old TJ, or should I say the young TJ.
Right.
And I act like people don't age out or fight through injuries and stuff.
Right.
I'm just used to seeing him dominate on the football field. But today, I will say he did a good job, man. He's kind of earning his paper again.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're not he's not letting them take him out the game.
Right. And Alex Highsmith had a good game too. I've been waiting to see him show up this year. So he had 2 sacks himself.
Right. Now, I will say this. The standout player for me today, Peyton Wilson, or as Dennis the Menace would say, Mr. Wilson. Listen, that boy showed up and showed out, man. I mean, he had a bunch of good defensive plays, but the one that really got me was that pick, man.
Yeah.
That brother coming through with those fast hands, man, making that happen, man. I was very pleased with the productivity that the defense had, man.
He had my fault, I didn't mean to cut you off, but he had 9 tackles, 9 solo tackles, and 1 interception. So he had a good game. He had a really good game.
Now, I want to key in on our veteran. We never get to really highlight and celebrate our veteran, but we're going to say it today. Young man, and he knows who he is. Number 97, you know who you are. Dude, you played ball today, man. I felt like he should have put old boy in the hospital with that hit, man.
Yeah,
He tried to turn his lights out.
Yeah, he was doing his thing, batting passes down and all of that, man. So Cam was everywhere. It was good to see, man.
He's well worth the money he was asking for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm kind of glad they gave it to him.
And some may question it because, we talk about it a lot about earning your keep. But when you're able to turn it up, not on, because anybody can turn their game on and off, Wax, if you're at that level. But in order to turn it up, you have to be able to reach that higher level. And we both, I'm sure, feel like Cam reaches that other level when need be, man, just from the way that he played today. So shout out to the entire defense, man. My man Herbig, the young boy Keanu Benton, man. He had a couple good assist plays, man. It just was a tremendous game. Now, I will say this, secondary-wise, Wax, you had brought up there was some things we needed to adjust.
Yeah, man. Like they're finding like the open spots in our coverage, man. And I wish they would tighten that up because like if they would have tightened up like just a little bit more, we would have pretty much beat the crap out of the Colts.
Right.
You know
And I feel the same way. I mean, they came in 7-1 all cocky on their high horse, playing a 4-3 team.
Like Dude said, the best offense in the league.
And then, man, here's the thing. Dude did say that. He said that they was the number 1 offense in the NFL. It had me a little worried, but I was born in 1978, Wax, and we weren't allowed to panic when we were born.
Right.
So it's not in my DNA to panic. Now, as far as their offense, we kind of shut them down and kept them at bay. What did their offense have today, dude?
I mean, Jonathan Taylor, we held him, and he's basically been the best running back in the league this year. We held him to 45 yards.
How many carries?
14 carries. So
oh, man, that's a lot.
3.2, yards per carry. So that was big time.
Yeah.
Like he was the one that was scaring me the most.
Right.
And our run defense hasn't been the greatest this year. So, them stopping that's a big step forward, man. We really needed that.
That doesn't scare me, the run. It's the pass. And like Wax was saying, man, it's those little short passes across the middle that kill us. I mean, needless to say, man, we shut that shit down. We foiled every plan that they had, and we stepped up and was able to make things happen, man. So I was so impressed with the way that them boys stepped up. Offensively, we played at bay. Like I said, we played par for the course, meaning we didn't go overboard as far as, we could have offensively.
Right.
Just think about Warren. Warren, the 16 for 31, it didn't look like it was a lot, but the brother had 2 tutties.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? So in order to get them touchdowns to put us up by that lead he did, we needed that to happen. Your boy Freiermuth showed up again. One receiver in particular I think that needs a lot of work in critical situations is my boy Mount Rushmore, Mr. Mount Washington.
Yeah, he did drop a touchdown.
He dropped like 3 or 4.
First down on in the first quarter.
Right.
That shit, that hit him right in the numbers, but he didn't get his head around fast enough.
Right.
Which, you're on the 5 or the 7. You only got 5 steps before the ball's coming. You have 3 steps.
And that's when my head would have been around 1, 2, 3, boom.
Boom. And if he didn't score, he was going to get a first down, and then we would have scored.
Correct, but
chances
of him not
scoring. He turned
scoring.
around, that ball was already stinging his stomach. And I'm like, bro, you have to be ready for that.
With a veteran quarterback like Mr. A-Raj, you have to be ready, like you said.
He put that on the numbers. I watched that. I think he had DK underneath running like a slant or something, and then he was on the outside doing the same thing, and he should have had that, man.
See me, I think Darnell had a decent game. Like I'm not that mad at what he did. I'm more mad at DK because DK is the one getting paid to do what he's supposed to do, and he only had 2 catches for 6 yards. So and he dropped. He had like
dropped a
2 or 3
couple.
drops himself. So Darnell's, you're going to get what you're going to get with Darnell because he's just a big giant man. So it's like you can't expect like him to be like elegant.
Right.
You do. He does need to catch that touchdown.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I give you that.
Because
He does need to
they
catch
don't-
that.
They don't. I didn't mean to cut you off. They don't feed him a lot.
Right.
But like his play specifically, you're supposed to be ready for the ball.
What I was gonna ask,
But he had a couple of good catches.
Yeah, he did kind of make up for
during that
it.
game. Yeah.
Right.
He did kind of make up for it. But like catch the ball, man.
I was gonna ask you both. Do you feel like the referees, when they go for that jump ball, do they let it go as far as if it's pass interference and it's a big boy like Washington? Do you feel like the referees let that go, that back and forth,
A little bit.
that tedious tug that we'll say Hansy Joey would have probably got a penalty for?
Kind of. I feel like it's like the shock rules almost for
I feel the same way.
big receivers, but
They're biased in a way.
A little bit.
Or Vegas is like, all right, and okay.
I mean, I can't say that.
Because there was a couple, bro. I felt like they, the ball was in the air, but they were more or less tugging him before the ball even left Rodgers' hands, man. And as long as I've been watching football, that's pass interference.
Yeah.
The fact that he's bigger and he has inside position to be able to catch that ball has nothing to do with you're not allowed to touch that guy unless you're going for the ball.
Right. If he was a smaller receiver, they would have called it.
All
for
day.
Sure.
All
For-
day.
For sure.
Now, let me ask you both this. As far as our kicking goes, do you think Boswell's going to get him an award at the end of this season, man, for how many times he bailed us out?
He gets my MVP of the team award. So
Right. You think he's getting an award at the ESPYs?
I don't know.
I think he should.
He probably should, but I'm gonna be honest, he probably won't because
Bruh, he's
kickers
a dog.
just don't get, that much publicity or any of that. Like unless he kicks like old boy did today.
I was just going to say that.
kicked a
70.
68-yard field goal. Like if he can do something like that, but other than that, he's just doing his job and he's the best at it, I think, in the league.
Yeah.
He's the most efficient kicker
he
since,
is.
what, Anderson?
Yeah,
For us.
Yeah.
Like, he's a star, in my opinion, man.
Right.
Pay that boy more money. Like, I don't care what they're paying him now. Give him a couple million more.
Right.
Because he's holding it down, man.
Definitely.
Like, he's the most consistent person on the team, in my
Right.
opinion.
I'd agree.
And back to the defense, I think they kind of simplified it a little bit this week, which was better. I think the last couple of weeks they've been trying to do too much. I think they stopped moving Jalen around as much. I think he basically was just playing safety the whole time.
He did.
So and I think they kept it more simple, and I think they need to keep doing that until they get that down, and then you can sprinkle in a little bit more complexity into the scheme. But this week, this week they stayed in front and they were actually tackling. That's a huge part of what they weren't doing the last couple of weeks is tackling.
I was just gonna say it kind of seems like I agree, dude. I totally agree, and it kind of seems like they're letting everybody in front of them to catch the ball, and then like the further we get down the field, like on our side,
They adjust.
yeah, they like tighten up a little bit more and a little bit more, but like they were finding they were poking holes in our defense a little bit.
You know why I think that is, fellas? Because they keep Jalen over top for a reason. This is when we need a board to be able to point the shit. They keep Jalen over top for a reason. He's not the best cover guy, but he'll be like that hit that he got that penalty on. When they more or less probably said he was leading or, what was that, unsportsmanlike. I mean, he rocked that guy. But they keep Jalen over top for a reason. Because when they were switching it up and it was going all crazy, I feel like they didn't want to expose our cornerbacks for not being great coverage guys. Mm-hmm. So, in order for them to not be exposed, they move it around a lot. So, as they kept it still this week, they kept everything in front of them. You had said what I was going to say right before I said it. We think just alike. So, that's why I believe they kept the ball in front of them. They played football that way.
The bend don't break.
Correct. Because Once you start moving the rock, now I know I got to make adjustments. But once we get down to the goal line, it's your job to score the ball.
Right.
I don't give a hoot who it is. So if you're going to keep doing what you're doing and not think that I'm not going to put nothing up there that's going to be able to, put a monkey wrench in your plan, you're crazy.
Let me ask y'all this. Well, my first question is, do you think we run more zone or more man?
I think we ran a lot of zone today. I think last couple of weeks we've been running a lot of man.
Right.
And they've been tearing that man up. So like I think today they kind of switched it up. But I haven't checked any of the tapes, so I could be wrong. But it just seemed like they ran a little bit more zone today.
I feel the same way. That's why everything was in front of us. That's why we
Right.
were able to see it the way that it was written out. Because when you're running a zone, you got different areas to cover.
Right.
When you're running a man, if you got a guy like T. Higgs,
You're
he's
gonna
gonna
have to follow-
expose you.
Yeah, you're gonna have to follow him. I feel like if we're in a zone and you see a man in your section or your spot, and he keeps the play moving by running, like just stay with him a little bit. Like I know you're gonna give up a little bit of position in your zone, but like.
Yeah, you gotta have that football IQ to know where to know that like okay, he's here. I know I have this spot, but let me like you said, like let me fall back a little bit to make sure that the over the top guy can get to him by the time or to deter the quarterback from throwing it because I'm here still.
Just a little bit, because then you got that safety valve coming out of the backfield. So that's what you got to worry about. Him right underneath. And that could kill you right there. That's going to get the first down every time.
The thing is, though, like what happens is they stay in their zone like they're supposed to. The guy keeps the play alive he keeps running to the open soft spot of our defense, and we just got like 7 or 8 guys watching the quarterback standing in our zone.
My whole thing is, like you said, if they're going to play zone, cover it a little bit, but don't cover it immediately. Like, don't follow him out, because at that point, now you got that halfback to worry about, and he might get you more. He might tear you up for 20.
He could scrape you. The halfback could scrape you, but that's why you have linebackers for that. Or, somebody, maybe a corner, can step up and neutralize that.
Right.
But, I mean, it's easier said than done.
Correct.
Like, the whole situation is easier said than done.
I was saying that from the linebacker's point of view.
Okay.
But
I was the linebacker.
But either way, either if you play, zone or man, you gotta be able to tackle.
Yeah.
Like, because you know what I'm saying? And that's, like I said, that's what we wasn't doing, and they were tackling well today. You got to be able to get you, even if the guy catches it 5-6 yards, bring him down. Don't let him shake you off and run for 15 more. Those big chunk plays is what was killing us the last couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. And they neutralized those big chunk plays up until the end of the game. And, end of the game we was in that umbrella, that shell defense. And so I think that's where Daniel Jones got a lot of his yards in those last couple quarters, that last quarter. So, you take that.
That's why I'm blaming it on the ref, because there was pursuit and there was a surge up front, but it just seemed like that brother kept shifting and moving out of that damn blitz. Once the pocket collapsed, he stepped right up out of that pocket and just filleted him.
He was like 2 seconds from being sacked.
That's what I mean, man. And that was a hole. I'm looking at it all day. I'm like, man, if that was us, Aaron Rodgers would have been sacked, or they'd have had some crazy asshole. They'd have threw a flag. So,
let me ask y'all this: what y'all think of Joey Porter's performance today? Joey Porter Jr. He had a pick, but he had a couple of penalties.
Yeah, it's like we always say, man. Like once you get tagged the lame, it's follow the leader. Mm-hmm. Like once you have a stigma on you or a reputation of being handsy Joey, they're gonna see you as handsy Joey. If it's 50-50, they're gonna give it to the offense 90% of the time, because you're known or marked as or labeled as the pass interference guy. He had a couple pass interferences. He had one that I thought should have been an offensive call, and then he kind of made up for it with a pick.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And
so
he had a couple pass deflections in there too. Yeah. His game was 50-50 to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, the handsy stuff is like, come on, man, you got to chill. Like, it's like I'd have him practice. I'd tape his hands up before practice. I'm like, you're not we're taping your hands behind your back, or you're practicing in boxing gloves. Like you can't grab nobody. And maybe he'll learn that way. But other than that, like I think he had a decent game. That the pick at the end was big time. We needed that.
Yeah.
I'd probably go for the boxing gloves. Cause
Yeah.
I just have Dad pop his knuckles with rulers.
Right.
Like Big Joe.
his dad was snapping when he got that
Should be.
that pick though.
Yeah, he was.
But nah, man, that was crazy though, man. I mean, like out of all the penalties we've been getting in the last couple of weeks, it's been
It's like, come
at
on,
the
man.
expense of Joey, and I'm like, come on, bro, you're better than that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of you guys said it either this year or last year. Don't play defense with your hands. Play them with your feet.
Correct.
Keep up with the guy, and then you can deflect the pass or go for the strip.
Right.
Like or like the tackle, but like don't
With your
run
feet.
down. You know what I
With
mean?
your feet in your eyes.
Yeah, like-
make sure you're watching where this guy's going
I'll-
and keep your eye on the quarterback sometimes too.
A lot of the greatest have done it. Ty Law, Woodson,
True.
and I hate the fact that well, I don't hate it. I love the fact that they're both from Michigan alumni. Go Blue, but you look at Darrell Revis.
Quick time, both of them.
Everybody that had anything to do with being a shutdown cornerback used their feet.
I was gonna say, man.
Look at Rob Woodson before his knees, and it seemed like you can tell who's a good cornerback because they end up having limping or knee problems.
Yeah, and their technique is phenomenal.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he needs to work on his technique. I don't even need him to be one of the greatest. I mean, I hope
He could be though.
Yeah,
He comes
I
from
hope
he's
he
Joey
does.
Porter Jr.
But, like, I just need you to be halfway decent.
Right.
You know
I
what
think
mean?
he's that right now, Wax. I think he's halfway decent as far as that, but his hands drop him back a notch, if I could say that.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
That does. I think he's on his way to being halfway decent.
Right.
But he just gotta stop getting these stupid penalties.
It's
man.
a contract year too, so he's looking for a contract this year.
It's
So,
time to ball out.
I know they're going to renegotiate.
Probably.
Yeah.
But every penalty he makes, he's losing. You know what I mean? 400,000 or 500,000.
That's his gross rate.
Yeah,
He's losing gross.
They're over there like
Everything.
every time he gets a penalty, they're like, all right, you just got a little bit minus
That boy
on your
will be-
next check,
1,200.
right?
I was about to say, you better believe they take those stats and use them against you.
You have to.
You know what I mean?
In order, in a game like that, how do you just like get it down to the penny on what somebody deserves? Like, what is that worth
Right.
to someone?
Critique it. You have to for your performance.
Correct.
You know what I mean? It's a performance report.
Man,
Like I'm sorry, I didn't.
no, go ahead.
Out of like 100 coverages, you got called for a penalty out of 40.
Right.
You know what I mean? That doesn't look good.
No,
That doesn't look good. I need you to get 25, maybe 30 or less.
And when they contract negotiating, they nitpick every little
That's
thing
what
you
I'm
do. They're waiting for you to do something
That's
stupid so
what
they
I'm
can.
saying.
It's all on the table. Everything's written out right there. So it's a big year for Joey, man. We need him to step up. But let me ask you this. Let me bring this up. Speaking of Joey, but his dad, they honored the 2005 Super Bowl team this year. What's like one of y'all's best memories from that 2005 Super Bowl run? That whole run, Big Ben's second year, Bettis fumble,
I'd probably say, yeah.
the Bettis fumble.
Well, actually, Big Ben saving the Bettis fumble.
Yeah.
Like him actually, you know what I mean, diving at old boy's feet. Like that could have been traumatic.
Oh, that would have been.
You seen him get ready to scoot, boot, and boogie.
Yeah, he was.
He did kind of boogie.
Listen,
like,
shout out to his girl for stabbing him.
for stabbing him in the leg. Yeah.
Shout out to her.
Dude.
The dude that picked that fumble up, his girl, he got stabbed in the leg earlier that week.
What?
His girl stabbed him. That's why he couldn't really get out like that.
He got stabbed in the leg and still was running that fast.
But that's
gee.
why he couldn't get out like that. So because I was watching the interview with Tony Dungy talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
So my best memory was just how good it felt to actually see my team win that first Super Bowl. Because we had heard the 70s. We had been hearing about the 70s our entire life, but we wasn't alive for none of that, or at least cognizant of any of that. Right. So to actually see them finally win that one, man, that was the best feeling in the world to me, man.
And that team was so dope.
Yeah, they was.
Everybody on that team, I feel like, could fight.
bruisers.
Bruh,
Yeah.
do you
Bruises
remember
on
when
that
we was
defense.
talking to Cut and Bird about, you know what I mean, like Cedric Wilson and all that? Man, bruh, that dude, right.
Cedric Wilson up.
Right.
Like, we was like,
Just
bro.
that whole, like, just for the simple fact that they was little bruisers, man. Them dudes was small as hell, but they was just packed a punch,
Yo.
bro.
Man, that team was nice.
We used to be in the club with them. Remember in
Yeah.
the Berg?
Yeah.
Joey Porter would be in the middle of like some defensive linemen freestyling with a shirt. I mean, like they had it on lock.
Yeah, they did.
And I dare you to go in there messing around. I listen. You're not gonna make it out alive. They was dogs,
Yeah, they was
man.
dogs. Joey, you got Joey. You had Troy. I think I don't even know.
Kiesel.
If
Farrier.
Ryan wasn't here yet, but we had Chris Hope was here. Like you said, Farrier, Foot, Casey Hampton,
Yeah,
Aaron
Ike
Smith.
Dog.
Ike Love.
Yeah, Ike,
Yeah.
big play, Willie Gay, Brian McFadden.
We had some dogs, man.
Actually, Brian McFadden might not have been here either. I think he might have been here for the second one. But go ahead.
Hey, remember? And we beat
was here.
Seattle. We
Yeah.
beat Seattle in the Super Bowl, and then like maybe not even a year after that, me and Dude was in Vegas, right? And this like we were both single at the time, and we met up with some breezies like just on the on the strip.
Right.
They was ready. We was about to
They
go have a
almost
good
went back.
time.
Right.
They found out where we were from. They were like, "Where you guys from?" Seattle. Where you from? Pittsburgh. They were like,
Oh, their hearts dropped.
Okay.
Word. That was
Yeah.
Like y'all messing up. Y'all
Yeah.
could have got something good.
Man, y'all
But-
listen, y'all might have dodged a bullet. Them chicks would
Maybe.
have been up in there like, I got it.
Nah, it was. I mean, but we
That
we
ain't
were
gonna
gonna
make
have
the
a
Super
good
Bowl
time,
for
but
you.
they found out we were from Pittsburgh,
Right.
and it stung so bad that it, you know what I
It
mean?
resonated
Mhm.
throughout
Like,
that.
oh, you're from Pittsburgh? Oh, okay.
I just
See you guys later.
They was like, taxi.
uh-huh.
I just remember that whole run to the Super. Because remember we had to win. We had to win out at
Yep.
the end of that season. We had to win out.
We got the wild card.
Yeah, we got the wild card. Bettis ran over Brian Urlacher in that
Yeah.
game against Chicago. We had to win out, and then we get to the playoffs where we're running the whole season. We're running the ball, Willie Parker, and then we give it to the bus. We get to the playoffs, and they just let Big Ben go crazy against the Colts, which we just beat their ass today. But
Ain't that nostalgic
Yeah,
deja vu?
yeah.
if you will?
I think we were the 8th seed.
it was a 6th seed.
Okay,
I was gonna
my
say
bad.
7th.
Yeah, I know we were like low in the, and I'm like, man,
It was only 6 teams. At
it
that
feels good, but I know we're going home. First, second
Right.
round.
Right,
Like,
I didn't feel that way. Everybody was showing up with their little, their little ritual shit, their little superstitious garlic and you know what I mean, little rattlesnake tails. Everybody had their little mojo kit in order to go to them games. And I tell you what, man, we will watch victory after victory until we got to that day.
I couldn't believe it.
But yeah, because we beat Cincinnati the first game.
Okay.
That's whenever Kimo
Kiamatu.
Von Allhoffen
Yeah.
took Carson Palmer's knee out
That is right.
because we wasn't supposed to win that one.
They were supposed to win
Yeah.
and win the whole thing.
Yeah,
Or,
that was
like,
their year. And then we beat the number one team in the league was the Colts, and they just beat the brakes off of us like 3 weeks before that.
Yeah.
And then we went to Denver and that's when Joey was like, "Man, they shot me in Denver. Hoorah! Hoorah!
We run.
Yeah." Then we got to the playoff and we got to the Super Bowl, and it wasn't the best performance, but
He wasn't even supposed to play in that game, was he?
I don't know who Joey.
Yeah.
Nah, he had got shot earlier in the season. He got shot earlier in the summer, I think.
Okay, I'm tripping. It was in a bar, I do.
Listen, it was the perfect setting for the bus because he was from
Yeah, he
Detroit.
went
He was
home.
playing in Detroit. It was kind of like his send-off game at the time. We didn't know that.
Right.
I mean, he was like teeter-tottering on retirement. So he was like, I might retire this year, like the year before.
Yeah.
And then
Because he had retired, and then remember Hines was crying like, and then they
because
brought
we came close.
Yeah, we
That
came.
is
We
right.
got to the AFC Championship and lost to the Patriots. Remember they was cheating.
Yeah.
Cheating bastards. But anyway, just bringing back a little nostalgia and just to let y'all know we want that feeling back.
Yeah.
We want that again. You know what I mean? There's kids out here that never seen us win a Super Bowl yet. they need that too. You know what I mean? So let's get to it. I don't know what it's going to take from this team, from this organization, but we want that feeling back.
It was a feeling of excellence.
Oh my goodness. It was great.
I remember going there that year, going to that Cleveland Brown game. Do you remember you and Freak Move was at that game, and I was like, "Yo," we was up in the joint, man, and we seen each other from that game, man. It was, I'd say, about 4 degrees outside.
I remember. I stayed in the house.
Willie Parker got busy. He had like 231 yards that game, man.
Fast Willie. Willie was a beast.
Wasn't he?
He was.
Man.
Yes, he was.
Shout out Willie.
Let me ask you this. Who would you rather have on a team if you could have it? Jerome Bettis and Mendenhall.
You talk about prime Jerome Bettis?
Prime Jerome Bettis and Mendenhall. Or Fast Willie Parker and Bell.
Give me Fast Willie and Bell.
But like prime Bettis is just my favorite running back. Like he's one of my favorites. But
I'll be honest. Go ahead.
Yeah. Bell was a different monster, and I'd probably take Bell. And
but I was gonna say Mendenhall wasn't no slouch.
He really wasn't.
Like he was no
2 power
slouch.
backs or 2 fast backs.
Right. I wanted Mendenhall to be our Eddie George.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like just a big back that'll truck you and keep it pushing.
But you do know you was asking for a whole lot, bro.
A whole
Eddie
lot.
George is every part of 6'3",
Listen.
220 pounds of complete dynamite.
I only wanted him to be like Eddie George because Eddie George would not back down from Ray Lewis. And Ray Lewis actually ended up breaking Mendenhall's shoulder. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because, like,
rookie year.
I was like, man, he has the potential to be a premier back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, until he broke that collarbone.
And no bullshit. Ray was like a vicious bulldog. But as far as that was concerned, Eddie George had everything that Ray Lewis was looking for. Like, you want the rest of this? Okay. Bam! You want the rest of this? Bam! Like, Eddie George didn't back down. That's the only time I was on record saying that an Ohio State running back was one of my favorite guys in the league at that time.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, greatness recognizes greatness.
I just,
you know what
because, man, I'm a staunch, like how staunch Republicans are. If you're from Michigan, you cannot even associate yourself.
I feel the same way. Like when, Ty Law, when he went to Michigan, and who was their, damn, I can't think of his name. Who was their, he was like a cornerback, a punt returner. He's the only defensive guy to win.
Desmond Howard.
No, not Desmond Howard. Who was after Desmond?
Woodson.
Charles Woodson. I was like, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I don't even like Michigan. Yeah. It was like, you know what I mean, just a mutual respect. Like, oh, you're getting busy like that.
Right.
I have to kind of respect you and kind of like you.
Bruh.
You know what I mean?
The shit that Eddie George used to do, bruh. It was crazy, man. It was crazy.
Let me ask you this, and since we're talking about, old AFC Central running backs, who you taking, Freddie Taylor or Eddie George?
Fred Taylor.
Eddie
Fred
George.
Taylor.
I'm taking Freddie Taylor.
Give me Fred.
George.
Freddie Taylor
Fred
used to
Taylor
give me
was
nightmares.
He did, man. He did, but he just wasn't. He wasn't as big as Eddie.
He didn't need to be a monster like Eddie.
Matter of fact, didn't Eddie get him one?
No. No.
You sure? Because Steve got him one.
I don't think Steve got him one.
Steve got him one.
Steve
McNair.
With who?
With the Titans.
No, they went to the Super Bowl and lost.
Both of them, but they lost to the greatest show on turf.
They came up like a yard and a half short. Wow. They should have won that game.
They could have, but that was a hell of a team that they had to play against, man.
Frank Wycheck as fullback.
Yeah, they was nice. But
give me Fred Taylor.
They had to play Isaac Bruce and them boys, man.
Torrey Holt.
Yeah, Torrey Holt and Bruce and
Kurt Warner. I know
slinging
that
shit.
sounds like a joke now, but
and Marshall Faulk, like, man.
And Dick Vermeil coaching them up.
Yeah, that team was crazy.
Yeah. But what was you going to say, dude?
No, I was talking about. I just pulled up Fred Taylor and Eddie George's stats.
So what we looking like?
Fred Taylor played 153 games. Eddie played 144. Fred Taylor got him by 1,000 yards. Fred Taylor's 4.6 yards a carry.
So basically, he's rubbing it in your face.
Basically, I'm saying they were both kind of the same. Like they kind of got a lot similar stats. Like, you know what I mean, rushing TDs. Eddie George got two more TDs than him. You know what I'm saying? But they're comparable. They're definitely
pretty much the same guy.
But it just goes to show you, like, think about the running backs that was in our division at that time. It was Fred Taylor, Jamal Lewis, who was a freaking nature.
Another battering ram.
Bettis,
Marty
George.
Drew.
Afterward Jones Drew.
He was a little bowling ball.
I hated Jones Drew and David Garrard. They
used to scrape us. Like, the AFC North has been the most dominant. Like, even if we don't win the Super Bowl every year, like, we have the hardest guys in our division, man. Like,
maybe not this year.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm talking about in prior years.
And most years other than this year, like, we're usually on top. But this year we're all scrap.
You know what's wild, man? Like, but just think about how dominant the Ravens defense was for years. 4 years.
Yeah.
And
They
we used
had
to
three
give them
players.
fits.
3 players that were Hall of Famers.
Bro.
Terrell Suggs, the boy
Ed
safety,
Reed,
Ed Reed, and Ray Lewis.
And 2 of them went to Miami.
And you forgetting about Haloti Ngata and Tony Siragusa.
Shit.
And them boys. I mean,
Bart
it was
Scott
nice.
was an animal.
Bart Scott. You know what I mean? They
I'm
had
saying
Dion
3.
over there for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just saying 3 that had, like, what was he, 37?
Yeah,
that was his number.
Old man, but he was there. I think he got
Didn't
a
he
Super
get him
Bowl with
he did.
He was on that 05, on that 2000 team. I'm not sure.
That was the only time
back.
I never rooted for Dion. When he played with the Ravens, I don't care where he went.
But he was still nice.
He was old as, I don't know what. He was damn near 40. And I was like, I just don't like that purple and black on him.
I hate it.
We got L.A. coming up, man.
Yeah, in
That's
LA.
LA.
That's a big game.
It is. You know what worries me is the time difference. Like, we're 3 hours ahead of them, so we're going to start earlier than we normally would. Yeah, that kind of worries me a little bit.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you do something every week at a certain time, it's kind of hard to get active if you try to do the same thing earlier than...
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, say... Like, it's just... It usually it seems like we don't start playing until like the third quarter.
Right.
You know what I mean? If that makes any sense.
And they're 6-3.
Yeah, they're playing nice, man.
Yes, they just beat the Titans today. So yes, it should be a good game. And Herbert, and we'll see, because Herbert's a good quarterback. So we're gonna have our hands full. Our defense, our secondary is gonna have their hands full again. So,
but one thing that makes me happy is we beat the team that beat them.
Right.
They played the Colts last week. They played the Colts last week.
Yeah.
And they lost. It was like 24-38.
But like, this is another thing that makes me nervous is like we beat the teams we shouldn't beat and lose to the teams we should beat.
Right.
So hopefully we can get from that perspective and just win this game, man.
Right.
We need to start stacking some wins.
I just said that today to you.
Yep.
I just said that.
Like, I mean, it's a shared mutual feeling,
right,
man. Like, we need to, like, because like Duve just said and you said earlier, it just is getting harder every game now.
Right.
Like, we got past our easy stuff. Now we play like division rivals and everybody else with a good record.
And the Ravens ain't going nowhere. Don't think that the Ravens are out, because their schedule lightens up, and they're gonna be right back. You know what I mean? If Lamar can stay healthy, they're gonna be right back. They're gonna be, that last game of the season is always gonna matter.
And it's weird because it just seems like every time we start off with like a
A
difficult
nice little
schedule,
lead, yeah. Oh,
they always, I mean, a easy schedule. We start off with like a pretty, like, it should be lunch. We should be 5-0 by the time, we play our fifth game. They get their heads knocked in. Then all of a sudden, they win 7-8 games straight, which gives them playoff advantage, which normally first round, they end up playing somebody kicking their ass, and then they play somebody like us and
right.
Kick our ass.
correct. I didn't want to say it, but
Yeah.
But
But hopefully, they stay snake bit, like my Uncle Dude says. They're
Right.
lame because they can't get past the big game. So hopefully, and they've been getting exposed. So maybe if we use a blueprint to one of the games they lost and try to,
we don't do that. We just have our own game plan.
yeah, true. But that could be our downfall.
Right.
right.
Being loyal to,
But so let's get to the scores. Like, what y'all think's gonna happen this week? What's the score?
Prediction time.
Yeah, prediction time. Best time of the week.
You want first or you want me to go first?
I go first. I'm never right. So I'll throw my wrong prediction out there. I say we win 24-21.
All right.
On the road in LA against them Chargers.
I'll go next. I think we win 30-20. I think we win by 2 scores.
I think that we repeat the score of the Colts and we beat that ass 38-21. Not 24 because we'll shut all that shit down. If the defense plays like we did today, we wouldn't have no problem shutting their run attack down. And our secondary has more than enough to be able to deal with their receiving.
Right.
Their receivers.
All right. So we all got them winning.
Yeah.
What else you gonna do, man?
That's
This is a Steelers show.
Listen, if we would have did one, sorry we didn't make it last week, but I would have picked us to lose this one. So I'm pleasantly surprised
I wouldn't have.
that we didn't. So I want to keep being wrong if that's the case.
Well, you know what they say.
What's that?
I ain't telling them nothing. See, y'all thought I forgot. I ain't telling them nothing until they do 3 things, Wax.
What's that?
That's like, share, and subscribe. And, dude, I feel like you might have something to add on to this.
Yeah, get in that comment section.
Definitely. See, they thought we forgot about it, didn't they,
Yeah,
Wax?
and I like the way you snazz that up.
See, well, I mean, because I got to let them know what, they all say with the things that are good and the good things and all of that. But they say that all good things must and will come to an end. Good thing is, we'll be back next week, same time, same location, different material.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Peace.
Shout out to Rich and Shirley, man.
Definitely. Peace.